Hi, this is Steph again. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to title this, but I've been getting some really peculiar comments, which I guess is to be expected. I've read many peculiar comments on other people's channels, and I just wanted to say I don't know why, but I get emails from YouTube, which I guess everyone does, when someone leaves a comment. That way, I know I can go in and reply. And for some reason, some of these comments are just not posting on the channel. And I just want to say that I have nothing to do with that. I don't delete anything because, I figure if someone's going to leave, a comment that's just ridiculous or whatever, then I'm going to leave it there for everyone to see because it's kind of driving home the point of what I've been talking about recently, which is just I don't know. I don't know what the thought process is of some people, And first, I just wanted to say you're probably getting sick of seeing me in these things. I will tell you, I have an autoimmune disorder, autoimmune / neurological thing. And for whatever reason, it makes my skin highly sensitive. And in fact, my hand and my right knee was the original injury which provoked the autoimmune response. And I have had to wear like a compression sleeve over my knee since about 2012, I believe, is when towards the end of 2012 is when I fell. And the compression sleeve serves multiple purposes. Keeps my kneecap in place for one thing because they did a surgery and messed up my leg even more. But it's also because if I have to wear like blue jeans or sweatpants or whatever, I can't tolerate the fabric rubbing over my knee. That very light, like even if one of my animals goes by and their whiskers or their tail just lightly brushes my knee. It's like someone scraping chalk on a blackboard. If any of you are old enough to remember chalk and blackboards, we weren't sitting like this and staring at things when I went to school. But so I just wanted to get that out of the way. These are just more comfortable. Like the less clothing I have on, the more comfortable I am, and I'm not going to apologize for that. That's just the way it is. So I have like a zillion of these things, and that's what I wear most of the time. And also because right now I have my wood stove going, and it's way too big for this house, but someone gave it to us, and it gets very warm in here. So if I had like long sleeve shirt on, I'd be dripping in sweat, which I'm dripping now. You probably can't see it, but okay. So now that I got that out of the way, I don't know why, but the video I put up about adopting an inmate, and I can't link. I see a lot of YouTubers go, I'll put the link right up here. I don't know how to do that kind of stuff. I don't even know if you need special software. Like, I'm not tech savvy, okay? I just, like, I know how to turn the computer on here, the camera, and talk. That's the extent of my skills, folks. I'm not, I'm not real good with this stuff, but I have, I think, less than 30 or so videos, so it's not that hard to find, and that's not even the point. I mean, I'm not saying you need to go watch the video. If you want to watch it, watch it. If you don't, And I wanted to say, excuse me, my intention with this was never to make money. I actually set up a channel in like 2014 or 15. And the reason I did that was some experiences Mike and I had in another state, North Carolina, with EMS and also with the town. It was just a very horrible little corrupt town. And I don't know why, but I sort of lost interest or whatever, and I just deleted the channel. But I don't recall why. And I'm not even sure what the provocation was to set this one up I think initially, I think I've said this before. I apologize for repeating myself. I'm trying to keep my line of thought sort of in order here because I tend to jump all over the place. I initially kind of wanted the focus to be on dealing with a chronic disease process and the frustration it brings because medical doctors, as much as most people want to worship them or, oh, they're the experts, and, no, I'm sorry, they're not. They basically are drug pushers. They know how to write you a prescription, and if they can't write you a script, I'm sorry, but they're pretty much lost. Because I have been trying to get myself healthy for so long, and I've done most of the work myself. I use natural stuff. I use supplements. I try to eat right. I try to stay as active as I can. Today's going to be hard because, my ankle's hurting, my knee, my hand. I have surgery tomorrow. Not really looking forward to that, but my train of thought just totally went out the window. Sorry, my cat's looking in the window wondering where his breakfast is. But where the heck was I? So I wanted the focus to kind of be on, what I do and different. I was going to talk about different things I've tried that have worked, things that haven't worked. But then I thought, well, I think I put a video up about a book I don't recommend reading because it was just like the most horrible book I ever read, and it was just a woman whining and complaining about her divorce, and it was just the most tragic thing anyone had ever gone through, and blah blah blah, and and then I thought, well, I don't know. I mean, then I thought, well, I can put some stuff up about first aid because I can't run in the field, and it kind of frustrates me, and my hair is really all over the place today. But anyway, so I just decided I'm just going to go with whatever comes to mind. All right, so I've had an email this morning. I'm not going to say who this person was. I didn't even write it down, but the comment said, first video / not watched. Though the title, be someone's hero, contact an inmate, ! The word hero does not compute. And it was another sentence or two. And then it ended with wishing you the best and a little praying hands and flower emoji. So it's like, okay, first of all, if you're going to leave a comment under a video, you probably should watch it because you're probably missing a lot of context. And I admit, the word hero did not precisely fit the actual dictionary definition of a hero. But I think most people could get the point. As I said in that video, when I wrote to the woman who I was strictly a pen pal, because I had another comment from some guy who was like, I think it was a guy, so how much money, or did you ever send money to your girlfriend? Well, first of all, she wasn't my girlfriend, okay? I lived with a man for the last almost 20 years. And I really didn't want to say this, but on that video, but at that time, Mike was in jail. Okay, he was just in a county jail. He had a DUI. And, I think, people at times should have to go to jail or prison or whatever. I mean, but we have, this country, we lock up more people in prisons than anywhere in the world. And I'm not talking like I'm just saying we lock up the most people, period. And not everyone who's in prison necessarily belongs there. A lot do. But you know what? I've got a criminal right up the road from me. And he does all kinds of stuff to me. Not directly to me. Throws like big hunks of metal in my yard, so when I go to mow, If I don't find it, I'm going to mess up my blades on my mower. Things like that. It's just little petty crap, but nevertheless, he's not in jail. He lives a half a minute up the street from me. So, or somebody could break into my house or what have you. It's like it doesn't mean everyone who's going to do a criminal act is in a jail, and not everyone who's in a jail deserves to be there. But the point of that video was, I was looking for something online, and I don't recall what it was, but I would think it pertained to something that Mike was in there, and I don't know. I don't know what I was looking for, but I ran across that website. I stated in the video I liked writing letters to people. I don't like emailing and well, I don't even have a cell phone, but I don't like texting. And I wrote letters when I was a kid all the time. I'd write to my aunts and uncles, or maybe a cousin, probably my grandmother. I just like to write letters. So I got a pen pal, a woman who, this was roughly 2017, and this woman was in her 70s. She had a lot of health issues, so she was, a bit older than I was. And no, I did not send her money. She never asked for money. I was simply making the point that if someone would like to have a pen pal, and if you would like to donate for their commissary, because it is horrendously expensive, but that money goes directly into an account. It doesn't go directly, it's not like you send cash and they walk up to the inmate and give it to them. Besides, where are they going to go to spend it? This woman was doing life, and I'm fairly certain she passed away in prison, because the day came when I wrote her a letter and I never heard anything back. But it was a nice experience for me. I know it was a nice experience for her, because the first letter she got, she wrote back and said it's the first letter she'd ever gotten in 35 years. I have a heart. I have compassion. So, feel free to bash away on my channel. But it's, first of all, I'm not naive. I am fairly intuitive. I mean, I'm pretty good at summing up people, even if it's not actually in person. I was reading her, bio or whatever, and then the things that she wrote to me, like I said, she was training service dogs. I think she was going to school, or she'd gone to school. I'm not sure. But she was involved in all kinds of stuff, and I enjoyed writing to her. I mean, I had a pen pal, big deal. And, I just put a video up making a suggestion. If somebody would like to reach out to someone who probably doesn't have anyone that reaches out to them, that here's a website you could go to. And if you don't want to, that's fine. But I don't understand comments like this where you don't even watch a video, but then you're going to go on and judge me and tell me things I should or should not do, or words I should or should not, use. It boggles my mind, because I watch a lot of content, not just here on YouTube, but on other platforms. And if I'm going to leave a comment, which I do here and there, I will watch the whole video. I don't just look at a headline, or not a headline, but a thumbnail, and decide to leave a comment. And particularly if I'm going to bash someone, which I don't do. I only leave comments, maybe to point something out, maybe that someone's trying to find information on, or and maybe I know something, and I just try to be helpful, like, hey, why don't you take a look at this, or I don't know. I am just getting to the point where I really, like I said, I don't understand the thought process of a lot of people. And I grew up and have lived in the same world I think, as the rest of you. And I've been here a long time. And like I said, I'm not naive. I'm perfectly capable of handling my own affairs. Now when it comes to a lot of things around here, since Mike is gone, it's difficult because I have to go get my neighbor across the street, or I have a friend of ours who I feel bad because I don't think he even saw Mike for like over a year, but he's going to come over today and help me with some things, and it's just things that I can't do. I need to get my kitchen sinks unclogged, and I can't get in there with the pipe wrench, and I just could not get the connections loose. So he's going to come over and get the pipes out so that I can clean my drains out. It's just, there are times when I do need help with something, or with the lawnmower, the thing doesn't work and things like that. But as far as every day, I've been out interacting with the public for a long time, and as far as this channel, I feel pretty secure in putting up content, and I'm not really trying to persuade anyone into a certain line of thinking. At least I hope I'm not. That's not my intention. I simply put up things that maybe I think people should be aware of, like the call with Mike and how disastrous that was. And now that I'm a little calmer and I can talk about it, I'm probably going to do another video directed specifically at healthcare workers, and more specifically at EMTs and medics, or prospective EMTs and medics, and say this is how that call should have gone. And, these are the common sense things that, these people didn't notice that you need to notice. And you need to know, first of all, you need to have common sense, but you need to know when a call has become, it may start out as not being horrendously emergent, but once it gets to that point where this call is emergent, you need to light a fire under your butt and you need to get moving. You need to do stuff quickly. You need to be able to multitask. You need to be able to be thinking about things while you're doing stuff. But that's another video. But primarily, I just wanted to say that if someone left a comment and it's not there, I don't know why. Some of these comments are posting, some are not, and I don't know, But like I said, I don't have a big channel. I mean, I don't even have 200 subscribers. And I don't make money. It was never in my intention to make money. I don't think it ever will be. I'm not like some big YouTuber with like 500,000 subscribers. I'm just a person who sits in her living room and talks about stuff. But I don't know. In a way, it's annoying, but in a way, I've kind of find it humorous because some of these comments, I almost can't even really make sense of them. Like, first video not watched ! I'm like, well, just watch the video or don't watch the video. I don't, but I mean, don't leave comments. Like I said, you're missing a lot of context. Like I said, she was not my girlfriend, okay? Even if I was gay or whatever, why would I want to see someone who's locked up for the rest of her life? And I lived with a man for 20 years. So I had a pen pal. And like I said, it was just something I did because I enjoyed it. And she obviously enjoyed getting the letters, and we had a nice back and forth for a few years. And like I said, she had a horrendous list of medical problems. You don't get the best of care in jails or prisons. And, she was 70-some years old, and when I wrote and never heard back, I just assumed, that she'd probably passed on. And the prison wouldn't have told me anything. If I would have just called and said, oh, I was her pen pal, they're going to be, well, if you're not family, we can't release any information or whatever. So I just assumed that's what happened because we consistently wrote back and forth. But like I said, I believe I'm a free speech absolutist. Feel free to say anything, up to and including threats. I mean, if you should be free to threaten someone. I've been threatened by a neighbor who doesn't live here anymore, and one would hope that there would be consequences for that person threatening you or threatening me. There weren't, unfortunately. There were consequences for me because I chose to defend myself, but that's another story. And I have been trying, I would like to upload the video from that night, just to get other people's opinions, or just to show you that all I was doing was verbally defending myself from a vicious attack. And this was after about a year of them just endlessly harassing and threatening us. I mean, it was just constant. It never ended. In addition just to doing other stuff that was horrendously annoying and whatnot. But, I think you should be free to say anything, and that's why I said I will not delete any comments, because I figure I'm going to leave them there for other people to see, and if you think there is as ignorant a comment as I think they are, then, you're free to comment back to that person, or reply, but it's like I'm just trying to put some content out that, like, I think the last one I put out was stuff to keep in your car in case you break down, or if you break down in the cold, so that you don't freeze to death, and so you have water. And, if you have your dog with you, have a dog bowl and a bottle of water for them and some food. And, it's just things I think of that I think, well, maybe no one else has thought of this, or maybe no one's aware of this thing, this website. Maybe they might be interested in looking into it. I'm not telling anyone what they need to do or not do. I mean, do what you want with your own life. I'm doing what I want with my life, and I think that's as it should be. And I am still struggling very much with losing Mike, but this is an outlet for me, and I think probably, I don't know, I haven't gone back and looked at all my videos, but I would bet the majority of them were probably put up in the colder weather, because in the summer we were so busy just keeping up with our garden and our yard and other people's yards and stacking wood, splitting wood. People would have trees cut down, and they'd give us the wood because, they know we have a wood stove. And so, like I said, I'm just doing this as an outlet for myself and trying to put some stuff out that maybe someone might find useful. But, please, and this doesn't go just for my channel, anyone's channel. If you're going to leave a comment and you're going to be judgmental towards people, you probably should at least watch their video and see what they're talking about. Because I wasn't looking for a partner, because I had another comment which actually did post, I think, yeah. And this guy was going on and on about, I don't even recall, but, I shouldn't be looking for love in all the wrong places and stuff. And it's like, I just put a video up about how my partner of almost 20 years just passed, and I said nothing about looking for someone in a jail. I was just trying to be human, and be human to another human who apparently didn't have any other humans who cared about her. And I will not apologize for that. But all I'm asking is that just everyone needs to take a good hard look in the mirror. I know it might be painful, like it is for me. That's why I don't have a mirror hanging in my bathroom, because they're creepy, but I don't want to see my old haggard face every time I walk in there. But, it's, and I'm not even talking about the exterior. Everyone needs to take a good hard look inside. If people would just stop being so judgmental, or, pointing out that you're wrong because you have this opinion, or I mean, clearly there are some things that are wrong. Like, I don't agree with normalizing people who have an affinity for, kids who go to like the first school that they're going to be enrolled in. Um, and, they're trying to make that like a medical diagnosis or something. And no, I'm sorry. You don't normalize that kind of stuff because it's not normal. Um, so obviously there are things that are not right, not normal, should not be normalized. But, if you have an opinion, you should be able to express your opinions. And like I said, that is precisely why I don't delete comments, because I figure if you want to leave a comment, even if it's an ignorant one, that's fine. I mean, I'm just baffled sometimes, I guess, because I wish I had the ability to crawl inside someone else's mind just for a little bit, and just kind of hear what goes on in there. If anything, I was reading, or I saw somewhere, that there are people who don't have an internal dialogue. I don't even know how that would work. I mean, I'm constantly talking to myself in my head. I just thought everyone did that. I'm constantly having internal conversations, and I guess there are people that don't. But I don't know how do you turn your brain off? I don't even know how that would work. But anyway, that's another thing for another day. But my cat is giving me evil hairy eyeball from the door in my living room here. He stays out all night till it gets too cold, and then he comes in. But he's looking at me like, where is my food? So I need to go feed him. But keep leaving those bizarre comments, because at least I do find them interesting. And if you don't like my content, there's zillions of other channels, and there's all kinds of content that you can go watch. But I don't care. I mean, if you want to leave a comment under mine, but you probably should at least watch people's videos before you leave comments, particularly if you're going to be judgmental. That's all I wanted to say. So I'm going to go feed my cat. So y'all have a good one wherever you're at, and thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.